Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. My name is Olstef and welcome back to the NASCAR 25 career mode. We are already on episode number 5 and continuing to improve our ups in the ranks. And here's our new paint scheme. We signed on a new sponsor at the end of the last episode. Dart will be with us for the next few races, the first one being at Limerock Park, the first actual legitimate road course of the season. But in the last video, we raced at Charlotte and Michigan, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Got a top 10, another solid top 10 finish at Michigan, and didn't have it very easy at Charlotte, but you know, it is what it is. We're going to have races like that, but we're slowly climbing up the ranks and getting better as we go. And interestingly, Isabella Robusto, Tyler Reif, William Sawalich, the three that we're supposed to be looking at for ones to watch as we head out for practice and qualifying, of course.
All right, time to go. Remember your goals out there. Let's see what the car wants out there. Stay patient. Stay on the blend line now.
So what I noticed for this track that a lot of people pointed out when this game first came out is that the road courses, they feel cool to drive. Absolutely, especially on this camera. It feels like a roller coaster as we head off there in the final corner, but the AI are not as good at road courses as somebody of not like a normal person, is what I'm trying to say. So you end up having to really kind of nudge people out of the way a lot more than you normally would. And that's not the most fun thing of all time, especially when people just park it right in front of you, but it is what it is. I'm sure it'll improve with the next game, but for now, it's a little annoying. But we end practice in a solid 13th position. Definitely something to build on for the rest of the weekend as we head into qualifying. And the Dart black, white, and red car looking sharp out there as we head into qualifying.
Let's get a good lap out there.
And we're able to meet our practice goal pretty easily there. Nothing to worry about.
Listen, buddy, we don't need perfect, just fast and clean.
Fast and clean sounds pretty perfect to me. But we meet our goal on the first lap, and then I wanted to improve it just a little bit on the second one. We managed to kick a couple more tenths out of the run and end up just saying, you know, that's good enough. We ended 8th in our group, so if you do the math there, we should be around 16th, 15th, 17th position, somewhere around there. And we end in exactly 16th spot. And the only reason that I say, trust me, I know I know how to do math, but it's a little bit interesting with the two groups of qualifying. They can kind of put you wherever you end up. Like I was 7th in my group on a Watkins Glen non-career mode race.
10 away.
And you'd think I'd be 14th, but they put me in 18th, so I don't really know. It's just based off of you versus the AI, I guess. But a big checkup into corner number 1, that kind of caught me off guard. I was lucky I got to the inside there of Greg Van Alst, and we end up almost running the 13, of Tanner Reif off the road. But going around the outside, trying to get around the outside of Jake Finch and Eric Johnson Jr., but there's just nowhere to go. And there's the checkups that I was talking about there. He's trying to let the 25 in, I assume, but just slams on the brakes as we get to the inside of him up the hill.
Left side.
Down into the braking zone. Once again, we get a good run through here, back to the back end of Andy Jankowiak. We get past Jake Finch and then down into the corner. Andy J just decides to give us a big brake check. And because he's got a faster car, he just goes by us on the inside there.
Left side.
Pull a little bit of a switchback move down here in corner number 1. Doesn't quite work out for us. And we finally get him out of turn number 3, and still have to give him a little bit of the bumper because he would not stop brake checking me in the corners.
Left side.
But doing a little bit of an off-track excursion here on the inside of Kyle Keller, getting by him.
Clear left.
Down into the braking zone, and now going for 8th on Takuma Koga, who's
right side.
Having a great run up here inside the top 10.
Left side.
I tried to go to the inside there, end up getting really, really wide off into the grass. No course cutting penalties here, though, surprisingly.
Left side.
As we now are able to make the move down into turn number 1. He tries to drive back around the outside, but I hold him right to the outside of the racetrack and managed to get past him up into the 8th spot. Now we're just behind LeVar Scott in the 6 car. Making up some good ground, able to make up a lot of time on the AI in the corners here, but obviously down the straightaways it's much more difficult, and right here we're actually able to hang with the 6 car, making up just a little bit of ground, and we pull to the inside, and it's a fairly easy one this time. Once again they try to drive around the outside, but as soon as you get down there into turn 2, it's pretty easy to clear.
Clear all around.
And now, here's some of the lap traffic that was giving me some grief. We get to the inside of Jake Bullman,
Left side.
to the inside of Timmy Hill.
Clear
Not
left.
a ton of difficulty there. Those guys were actually pretty nice with me, especially considering where it was. But here,
Right side.
we get to the
Clear
outside of Ryan Roulette barely, and I try and drive it back onto the track, but he just holds me in the grass.
Clear right.
He just straight holds me in the
Left side.
grass, and I get it. That was an opportunistic move for me, but
Clear left.
man,
Left
just
side.
no wavering from the AI, just holding me out there in the grass, and I have to give
Clear left.
Kyle Steckley a little bit of the bumper there.
Left side.
Just get out of my
Clear
way, and then another big
Left side.
checkup from the AI gets
Left
me uneasy, end up going into the grass, and at this
Clear
point
left.
I had just had enough
Left side.
of
Clear
the
left.
lap traffic being dinguses
5
in
to go
front of
now.
me. But coming down to the 2 to go, I see a potential top 5 ahead of me. Trevor Huddleston and Butterbean
Left side.
are for position. So we get to the
Clear left.
inside there of Brad Smith, past him. That was a lapped car, I believe. And the tires are not looking too great here. But coming on to the final lap down the front stretch here. Getting to
White
the
flag
inside of Amber Balkan.
Left
Big
side.
slow up from the 28. We're able to come from so far back. Somehow get to the inside, get him a little bit uneasy, and kind of
clear.
push him off the track there. He manages to hold on to it, but I'm doing whatever I can to get this top 5 here. And right up behind Trevor Huddleston, I'm going to have to be a little bit patient here. I can't
side.
quite get to the inside
Clear
there on these tires. But down the backstretch, we're going to get the run,
Left
and
side.
we get to the inside of the 50, just barely, really smoking the front tires there. Once again, give him room on the entry
Stay
to the
right.
corner.
You're all clear.
Bounce off the curbs just a little bit, but we clear
Left
into
side.
the 5th spot
Clear left.
on the final lap. And despite the tire situation and the fact that the car is getting very, very loose, we managed to hold
Top 5,
off
great finish.
Trevor Huddleston for a top 5 finish, I believe our 3rd of the season. So Tyler Reif taking home the victory over William Sawalich. Isabella Robusto once again with a top 5. Lawless Allen and I round out the top 5 and the rest of the top 10 there. Great top 10s for Trevor Huddleston, Takuma Koga, and Kyle Keller. There's the rest of your top 20. Alex Clubb with another solid top 20. David Smith finally gets a top 20. I think that might be his first of the season, if I'm not mistaken. And here's the recap as we get to the inside 3 wide on Van Alsten. A couple of guys just getting a little bit of contact there in front. Trying to say, hey guys, no need to slam on the brakes in front of me here. Go a little bit wide. Come back on the track. Tanner Reif puts it on my quarter panel there, but luckily didn't end up leading to anything. As we get to the inside of Eric Johnson Jr., up the hill, and then down to the inside of Jake Finch. A chaotic opening lap here. And then you'll see right here, headed into the final corner, we get the run, and the guys ahead of Andy J are going, but he just does not. He decides to brake check me in the middle of the corner. Really no reason to do that. Don't know why he did it. You can see Kyle Keller slowing up significantly ahead. Try to get to the inside of Andy J there. Go around the outside, hold on to the spot from Jake Finch, and then right here, that one was on me. I think I could have braked a little bit earlier, but I was kind of fed up at that point. And then here is the pass on the inside of Kyle Keller. Trying to get there, and we end up getting by him. Just barely not clear, and then we clear into the 9th spot, I believe. And then here's the battle with Takamakoga, going a little bit wide out of the final corner, but getting back onto the track. No harm, no foul. Then down into turn 1, we get to the inside of the 12 car. He shoots by on the outside, or tries to. We hold him right to the outside and manage to clear into the 8th spots on the track. And then this is for P7 on LeVar Scott. We get to the inside in turn 1. Once again, it gets really tight there, but I don't push him off the track. I just hold him right to the outside line. We're able to clear into the spot. Now here's a look from the top-down view on Ryan Roulette, and you can see I didn't have the lane there, but the AI just holding me, just not budging at all. And mind you, I was turning dead right trying to get by the 67 car there, so I mean, the AI on the road course is a little bit iffy in this game, but it is what it is. And this is another instance where the AI just decides to brake check right there for no reason at all, and I tried to go to the inside of the 76 because he's going so slow, and I end up getting loose and getting into the grass. And we end up getting by him, though. There's another look at it, getting to the back of the 76 a little bit. I get a little bit loose to the inside. The 76 kind of just drives in on my door like I'm not there out of the final corner as well. And then this is headed on to the final lap. We come from very far back, kind of clip the curb, get into the 28 a little bit. The old tires force me to sort of force him off the track. And then down into the S's. We head out of the corner trying to battle with Trevor Huddleston. We get up behind him, pull to the inside, and manage to barely clear coming down and using the corners to our advantage, despite the tire situation looking pretty grim on the car. But we managed to keep it going out of the final corner. The rear end gets a little bit loose, but we managed to come home with a very, very solid top 5 finish. And we get lots of rep points for that one. And obviously, Andy J, not too happy with me, but at the end of the day, I'm not too happy with him either. So it takes one to know one, in my opinion. But yeah, take a look at that. Tyler Reif, I believe that's his 2nd win on the year, if I'm not mistaken. It could be his 3rd, I cannot remember. I'm sure we'll see the standings at the end of the video, haha. Definitely won't forget them again. But we head on to week 11 at Dover Motor Speedway. And this one, I had a lot of fun with, to be honest with you. This one I felt, felt very smart. And the car drove great. I think Dover is probably one of my favorite tracks that I've raced with the ARCA cars so far. Just because it's very, very easy to get through the corners. You're able to just completely go full speed through the corner as long as you have a car turning with a good turning capability. And right here, I tried to give Sebastian Falcone a little bit of a love tap because he wouldn't get out of my line on the bottom there. That one was on me, of course. But we barely hang on to a top 20 in the final session. William Sawalich topping the charts once again. You know, it's funny. He tops the charts a lot in practice and sometimes in qualifying, but he really doesn't get the finishes. And I know at the beginning of the year, it was mostly because of me holding him up. He could have like 4 wins by now, if not for me holding him up when I was a slow bastard at the end of the field.
But that clean lap we've been working for.
Now it seems like he's getting up there in practice, but manages to finish, you know, inside the top 5 every week. But he's not really getting the wins down. I think he's only got 2.
Okay, shut her down.
So we qualify 24th. Obviously not great. Outside of the top 20. And William Sawalich once again coming away with the pole ahead of Jake Finch, Butterbean Queen, Isabella Robusto, and LeVar Scott all inside the top 5. But the car is driving good, so as long as we can get it through the corners all right, it's going to be able to pass a lot of vehicles.
Let's go trackside now for the command to start this ARCA Series race. Drivers, start your engines!
And with all these sponsor opportunities going around and stuff, we're having to rotate paint schemes a lot. But you know, it's fine by me. I actually like doing the paint booth stuff a lot. Some of the sponsors don't really fit the quarter panels how I like them to, but you know, that's all part of it. Sure, that's how design teams feel sometimes too.
1 inside.
But like I said, we start in 24th on the outside of the racetrack, right to the rear right quarter panel of Amber Balkan down the back stretch. We're able to make some momentum up after losing a little bit in turns 1 and 2. We managed to pass Amber Balkan, but not completely clear as we head down into 1 and 2 here. I try to go to the inside of Alex Clubb. I make it there, and I get run into in the left rear, and I'm trying to save the car. And Amber Balkan ends up going around. And I'm still not sure if that one was my fault or not. You can put it down in the comments when we when we see the replay. But we will not pit here, I believe. Maybe we do pit. Yes, we do pit. Okay, so don't listen to me. We're the first cars off pit road, so I think I took fuel and maybe 2 tires. No, I don't think I took 2 tires. I think I just took fuel. So I'm ahead of all these guys behind me that took, I'm guessing, 2 or 4 tires. But they're all slow anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Stay low.
And it's also the very beginning of the race, so it also doesn't really matter to me. But we managed to now get to the inside of Alex Clubb as we put him in the wall a little bit out of the corner. Was not expecting him to stay on my door like that. We go down into 3 and pass Jake Bowman, and then coming down the front stretch here, we get a run on Rita Goulet. And manage to clear him down into corner 1. Now battling inside the top 20 for the first time today. Getting to the inside of Takuma Koga. Getting a new personal best lap and passing Tim Richmond in the 27. And a driver that we've seen a lot recently, Brayton Lasser. We go around the outside of him. Something that I like about Dover a lot in this game, at least with the ARCA cars, is it seems like you can run high and run low. The car still turns pretty good on both of them.
Stay high.
But, you know, you can actually have a really good battle here. As you can see, we're basically the same speed here. And I had to battle my ass off to pass this this 06 car, which is pretty funny considering if I was on the bottom, I would be able to pass him a lot quicker. But still, it's great to have a nice little battle here with the AI. And And once again, trying to look for another top 10. And we're going to get to the inside of Brad Smith, or at least try down into one. He leaves the door wide open. And we managed to just shoot right by him on the inside line. The car was much more hooked up on the bottom, as you can probably tell.
One inside.
Right here, Caleb Costner was not giving up the bottom at all, so I just tried to run it on the top to get the run out of the corner, maybe to get to his inside, down into one. He tries to block it, but I'm just barely there. I sent it in a little bit far, pushed him up the track, but we take the spot away, and then we're going to get to the inside of Lawless Allen now in the 20. And we managed to get past him down into 3 as well. And looking at DL Wilson having a very nice little run up here inside the top 15.
Car outside.
Both of the, the 93 and 39, both inside the top 16, which is pretty cool for them.
Car high. Clear outside.
But once again, trying to go to the outside here to get the run on the 39. I have to let off just a little bit to let him clear up in front of me, and then we pull the crossover down into turn number 1. Go up the track once again, and we clear into the 13th spot. Now behind Ed Pompa in the 10. Going to the outside, Ed Pompa with a great run here up inside the top 15 as well. Get alongside him down the front stretch here, side by side, down into 1 and 2.
Still there?
He's still there, and we got Willie Mullins ahead of us.
1 outside.
Going 3 wide, we managed to clear the 10 car, going down into 3. Jason Kitzmiller, the next driver, up the track, and he loses it right in front of us and hard into the wall. The caution comes out for the second time. The first one that does not involve me for a while now, I think. That's got to be since episode 3 or something like that. But we will pit this time, taking 2 rights instead of 4. Because the left sides were still pretty good. And everybody else is pitting here. And my thought is I can probably hold off everybody on 2 tires, at least for a little bit, so I can get that lead lap bonus rep.
There's the green flag.
Or lead a lap bonus rep, I should say. And my goal at this point is just to hold it inside the top 10. I don't want the win or anything like that. I just want to hold it inside the top 10. And right here, I was not expecting these guys on older tires to be this slow. I tried to go to the outside there at the last second, but I waited too long. But we managed to shoot through the middle on a couple of them there, and then shoot through the middle on a couple more. And there is the driver we had contact with on the first lap. But we managed to pass her and into the lead, leading laps for the first time since Talladega Super Speedway. And we lead a couple of them here.
That was your best lap ever, bud.
And we even managed to get a lap personal best. But Jake Finch on the 4 tires, catching up to us very quickly here. We just got about 6, or I should say 5.5 laps to go. As we head down into 3, I kind of left in the bottom there, but he decided to go in right on my rear bumper. I'm not really sure what the strategy was there, and now I'm going to let him to my outside. That one I kind of was going to block, but he got to my outside too quick. And we head down there. He's not able to quite keep it on my door, and now he gets by on my outside on those fresh 4 tires. And right here, I just try to keep it in the middle lane because I know Isabella Robusto is to my inside. And look at that 3 wide pass for the lead. Isabella Robusto into the first spot. And now we're falling back to the 4th spot, down into 1 and 2 with just a couple laps remaining. And Brendan Queen loses a tire in front of us and into the outside wall hard. The caution comes out for the 3rd time in this race, and once again it's Brendan Queen going around ahead of us, and we will not pit here once again because nobody else is going to, at the front at least.
Coming to the green.
And now I'm thinking I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be able to hold him off. But it was a valiant effort out front, I tell you what. So coming back to the 2 lap to go mark in overtime. I think this is only the 3rd time that we've had overtime this season. And considering it's ARCA, that's pretty damn impressive. The first overtime not caused by me, I think, as well.
Outside now.
And the rear end gets way out from underneath me there. Sliding up the racetrack. Almost into the 18. We come back to the 2 to go. Actually, I apologize. It was not overtime. I can't really see the lap count. It's very pixelated from where I'm looking, but
Clear low if you want it.
we get passed on the inside, and now I'm thinking, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be able to hold off Andy J in my mirror here, but I'm going to try my damnedest as we come off of turn number 4 on to the final lap. Isabella Robusto leads, still looking for her first win of the season. And we hold it down on the bottom pretty valiantly. Those 50% tires, or 60%-ish tires, not doing too terribly, to be honest with you, as we are able to hold it on the bottom. And down into 3 and 4, Andy J is going to get to my inside just barely.
Inside now.
But we are able to hold him off for 2 straight top 5s. Once again, the 2nd time this season we're able to pull off 2 straight top 5s. And we lead laps, and Isabella Robusto gets her first win on the season. And she was in a bit of a points hole coming into this weekend, so that's good for her. Ed Pompa with a top 10. Zach Tinkle as well. A couple really good runs there, actually, unironically, inside the top 10. And there's the rest of your top 20. Alex Clubb with his 2nd straight 16th place finish on 2 vastly different tracks. And we get back-to-back 5th place finishes on those same 2 vastly different tracks. And here's a look at the recap as we come off of turn 2. Amber Balkan just kind of comes up as we come down, and there's the little bit of contact. I was trying to save the car. I don't know what to tell you. She ends up going around. Once again, let me know what you think about that one in the comments, because I'm not really sure who to blame. But we end up going 3 wide there. I didn't even realize that. 3 wide on the bottom of Takamakoga and Tim Richmond. And then here's our nice little battle here up inside the top 20 with the 06 of Brayton Laster. You can see how close it was, and you can see just how nicely this car turns on the outside line. As we head into 1 and 2, it turns very, very well, but at the same time, you can see that they make up quite a bit of ground on you on the bottom if you run the top too much. But down the straightaways, you're kind of able to pull away from them. So here's a look at the little battle we had with DL Wilson. Go to the bottom of him in turn number 1. Clip the apron, actually, and get loose. Or get, actually, tight up the racetrack into him. Almost. And he holds onto it. We hold onto it. Live to battle another day. And we run the outside line out of turn number 4. Switch back to the inside. And braking down to the inside. Managed to get by the 39 machine. Passing up into the 13th spot. And on the outside, side by side with Ed Pompa, who ended up finishing inside the top 10. 3 wide between a lapped car. No sweat at all. And this is on board with us here, coming down the backstretch. The helmet cam as we head into 3 and 4. And all of a sudden, the 97's going to go around right in front of us. Really no need to let off there, but it spooked me a little bit because it happened right in front of me, so do let off just a little bit. And now here's the restart. Once again, I was pretty slow off the start. End up getting into the back of Jackson McLaren there a little bit, but I forced my way through the middle, coming down the backstretch. And then down into 3 and 4, we get to the outside of Tanner Reif, and then we get to the outside of Amber Balkan, side by side for the lead, and take it for the, once again, for the first time since Talladega, which is our one and only win this season. Felt great leading for those couple laps out front, but you can see those 4 cars on fresh tires, just charging forwards. And able to get by me on the outside is the 25 of Jake Finch. Side by side with them down into the corner, push up the track just a little bit, and then Robusto to my inside, making that move 3 wide for the lead. And then this is coming back to, I believe, the 7 to go or 6 to go, something like that. Butterbean gets to my inside, and then right here, this is a little bit of a shit your pants moment as he goes around a lot closer to us this time. Right in front of us. In fact, in that time, I had to let off a little bit so I didn't run into him. But a lot more space to avoid a wreck here than Bristol, I will tell you that much. And then here's a look coming out of the final corner on the final lap. Get up the racetrack a little bit. The 73 has a run, but it's not going to be enough, and we're able to hold him off for the 5th spot. Once again, we get clean racing and lap speed rep. We get a lead lap rep, top 5 rep, incentive goal met, practice goal met, but obviously not qualifying or pole. And Amber Balkan, unsurprisingly, really the only one who's mad with me after that race. I feel like that was kind of a racing incident, but I don't know. But once again, we complete another 2 weekends, and I'd argue to say that this is our most successful episode yet. 2 straight top 5s. Unbelievable. But that level 5 engine doing us very well. And we complete our tasks for the before the next episode, and you can see we already have a sponsor incentive. It's been 1 race with this paint scheme, or 2 races. I cannot remember off the top of my head. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the 15 people who watched this video. I really appreciate you. You're here before the big blow up. Yeah, like that's gonna happen. No, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.